Hello, guys. Welcome back to another live stream. So I know we were live yesterday. We went through a lot of information about maybe the Fed might be doing something. So we're going to give you an update on that. Also going to be coming up with a few different outcomes because Bitcoin currently is at a really major support. So AJ is going to give you all the data on that. And then I'll give you a little bit of good news around Solana and then two massive funds that are going to be investing in crypto startups, which is very, very good for this space. But anyway, until we get into that, AJ, how have you been, my friend?
Yeah, good, thank you. As you said, still sat at that support, so hopefully we can hold that. But we have literally just before we started this stream had a little breakout to the downside of this symmetrical triangle, bearish pendant, whatever you want to call it. So we'll get onto that in a moment. But yeah, not looking too good. But as I said, we're still at that support, so we'll get onto that in a moment.
Well, that is exactly it. Hopefully, obviously, we want to be able to go long. Everyone loves going long on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But we also have to be very well aware that it could be a while. But I'm going to start with showing everybody just general. I mean, you've probably already seen this. I imagine it's the first thing you did if you currently hold any crypto. Just have a look at the general state of the market. So as usual, the altcoins are falling harder than Bitcoin. That's because it is a little bit more stable, larger market cap, more people like it, and more people invest in it. So that is a little bit more stable. Currently, guys, we said this yesterday. There's two things I just want to get out of the way. One, altcoins, we're not really touching at the moment because we're going to focus on Bitcoin first. And then usually whatever happens to Bitcoin, that then has a bit of a catalytic effect to the other coins. And secondly, stick around until the end because we're going to be giving you $50. That's right. So we did it the last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, giving away $50 to one random person who comments in the comment section at the end during our Q&A. So stick around for that. So like I said, I want to jump in. Yesterday, there was the Fed minutes. Now, a minutes is just like a minute note during a meeting, the overview, basically. What happened in the Fed meeting? Here is the overview that they publish. So they go through this. These are what the Fed minutes are. Ultimately, what they said, and I'll see if I can find just a quick roundup of this. They are very much happy so they indicate uncertainty over potential fault lines in financial markets. And what they are essentially going for is they want to have 2 interest rate hikes of 50 basis points. And you can go and have a look through this full article. I'm not going to do this here. I've obviously been through it. So the idea is half point rate hikes or 50 basis points during June and July. Now, in the future, they said restrictive interest rates may well become appropriate. So that means, obviously a lot more. But currently, the market has priced in and they are happy to do, or it seems as though the Fed will be doing 2 interest rate hikes of 50 basis points during June and July. Now, I've spoken about interest rate hikes a little bit. Currently, we are at between 0.75 and 1%. And this is just the rate at which it costs banks to borrow money. But notice in history, so we had just before the crash, or I should say just after the crash, we went from 1 to 1.25 to 0.0.25. And the only reason why people are talking about this now is that it was sat at around about this level for 2 full years. And so now we're beginning to see the Fed try and get inflation under control by increasing this number here. And so this is where we see, what's the probability? Probability of us going from 0.75 to 1%. So an increase of 50 basis points on that is 1.25 to 1.5. And so that's the very high probability. Again, the probability is increased to a similar level. So yesterday, people were unsure. The Fed minutes came out. Now we're pretty sure 50 basis points over the next 2 rate hikes, which will come in June and July. So that gives us an idea of a fairly stable market. Now, looking further into the future, we're kind of thinking the general market's opinion, and it's grown since yesterday, is that we're just going to continue to see a 50 basis point hike, which could be very, very good for us, given that the market's already priced this in. And this would allow us to have a bit of a pump during September and November and December when they do these rate hikes themselves. So that's something I just want you to keep in mind. And I'll just also, finish up. I want to go through some good news stories afterwards. But I know we want to get onto the technicals of Bitcoin. Just to let you know, we will in 20 minutes have a bit of volatility in the market because we have the initial jobless claims. So these are new people filing for state benefits or unemployment benefits in the US. And so this usually has a big impact in the financial markets. So currently 218,000, or last month. What we're looking for this month is less. So that means a stronger economy, more people working, more people investing into the market. So that's the overall, little bit of Fed talk. We have to do it. We have to understand exactly what's going on in the markets. So I wanted to drop that in there and give you our landscape as to what we're now going to say about Bitcoin. So AJ, I'm going to throw this over to you. I'm looking at your chart here.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a bit of a break. I don't know if that's a bounce.
So yeah, we've had a break to the downside of this symmetrical triangle or bearish pendant, whatever you want to call it. We have had a break to the downside, and we do have a technical target for the symmetrical triangle. We do have a technical target right now of approximately $25,000, all the way down here. But this isn't confirmed yet. What I would like to see is sort of a retracement back up to this previous support level, now resistance level. And for this to be confirmed, for me, I would like to see a rejection of the now resistance level, previous support level. Now, there always is a possibility that we can break above this resistance level, and we can break back into that triangle, and that would obviously be a fake out. But right now we are looking quite bearish because we have broken this trend that we have respected so well in the past. We've respected it, and we've been squeezed so much into this into this symmetrical triangle. So there is a big possibility that we can see a big dump from here because it's respected it so well, and we have broken towards the downside. So yeah, what I'm waiting for now is that retest and then a potential rejection, or that retest and then we break back into the triangle. That will be good news. But looking at the bigger picture, if this gets that confirmed break to the downside, then we have to talk about this bearish pendant that I did mention in yesterday's stream. And this could be severely bad for Bitcoin. This could potentially take Bitcoin all the way down to around $17,000. Now we have talked about a lot of, someone's just, no, I don't think we are yet. I won't say it, but I don't think we are yet. I think there's a bit of support, which I'll get onto in a moment, before we can be looking at this $17,000 target. But there's actually something that you picked out on the I think it was the weekly, actually, Ben, before we started this stream, and that was in fact this head and shoulders pattern. And this gives a pretty bearish target as well. So just want to show you, we've been looking at this support, this blue support along here, but if we sort of move this support up a little bit, you can see that we are forming a kind of, let me just get this tool out here. You can see we are forming a sort of head and shoulders pattern, which Ben, I know that you did pick out before we started this stream. And we have respected this neckline fairly well. We've got you got the first shoulder here, and then you've got the head here, and the second shoulder here. So we have been respecting this neckline pretty well. And you could say we have broken this. If this is a head and shoulders pattern, we have already broken this pattern, and this would give us a pretty bearish target, as the bearish pendant gives us a bearish target. This gives us a target of around $15,000. So pretty similar to that $17,000 target on the bearish pendant. So we are looking quite bearish right now, but as I've said, we do have that support coming in at around 22,000. which I'm sure you've heard me mention quite a few times, this 200 MA, since we started this 200 MA, since it's appeared on the chart, we've never actually broken below it. Yes, we've had wicks below it, but we have never actually broken below. You can see back here, in 2015, back here in 2018, and back here in 2020, we tested this level, and that actually signaled a bottom for us. Unfortunately, we are most likely going to come down to this level. If we get that confirmed break to the downside, that confirmed break to the downside would be the retest and then the rejection. So, hopefully, this can be a fake out, but as of right now, it doesn't look to be a fake out. It looks like we are going to see, the price come down a little bit further. I did also mention this falling wedge as well a few streams ago, and as of right now, we are testing the support here. This downwards trending blue line has been a bit of support in the past, and we are there right now. If we can bounce off this level, and that correlates with this support level that I just moved here, that correlates with this support level along here. If we can bounce off this support level, then there's no doubts about it. We are most likely going to come up to that $35,000 level. But as I've said, we have broken this trend here. So hopefully, we can get a fake out here. We can sort of, come retest and break back into this symmetrical triangle. But as of right now, we are breaking towards the downside, and it doesn't look too good for Bitcoin.
I think it's really weird because, it seems like now we're almost want it to be bearish. Like we're hoping, in fact, there is a crash. Because then if we're down by 25, down at 25K or down at 22K or 20K, I'm pretty sure most of the market will get excited and most of the market will be buying in. And I think that will kind of end that very short crypto winter because, we've had 8 weeks continuous red candles. Is a very bad sign. It's never happened before in Bitcoin's history. So, it does make you think, well, we could well be in a bear market. And as we know, bear markets usually last, a couple of years sometimes. So we don't know how long, but, some people are expecting months of pain. But, I kind of want to get down. I don't want to just hover around 30K.
No,
which
we want to come down. We want to come down to those support levels because that brings us great buying opportunities. And like you said, we've had 8 weekly candles to the downside. And if we close this week's to the downside, that will be 9. We've got 3 days left, so there's a bit of time to potentially recover. If we can get this fake out on that symmetrical triangle that we've just broken to the downside of. But if we do get another red candle, that's going to be 9. And I think the last time was in 2014 when we got, I think it was 6. 6. So this will be smashing that record. I wouldn't say it's a good record, but there we go. And just something I want to add about those, about that $17,000 and $15,000 target. If that does come in play, it is possible because, and I'll show you in a second why it is possible. It's possible for us to come and hit those targets, but still, not get that candle closed below that $22,000 level. Now, I just want to make sure that, that $22,000 level, it can vary slightly, because it is a moving average. It is gonna move with the price. So it can, slightly vary, but approximately that $22,000 level is sort of the bottom that I'm looking at. But I am expecting, those wicks below 20,000 is something where, Ben agrees with me on this. We're most likely going to come down to that if we break this major support here, and we come down to 22,000, 20,000. We'll most likely wick down to that. But we do have this $17,000 and $15,000 target. Now, if we look at the previous time, that we've tested this 200 MA and we've wicked below this, we've had an approximate 27% wick to the downside. So if we did get that saying, 27%, that would bring us to approximately 16,000, so that there is a possibility that we can wick down to that $17,000 level, $15,000 level, and then, the price increases and we do hold that $22,000 level approximately, so looking at these bearish price targets, they're not all too bad, because there is still, this massive, let me just show you again, how much support we have on this 200 MA. Every time we've come down and tested it, we've bounced off it. So, this is where I'm looking to, increase my bags on Bitcoin, anywhere below that 22,000 and even below, even above it, in the future, we're going to be looking at that 30K level and below 30K, and we're going to be looking at that and saying to ourselves, that was such a good entry price. So, anywhere below 30,000, is a great entry for me, really.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Like 100%. It is, but we just don't know how long this winter's going to last, how severe it's going to be. But I do have some good news. Obviously there is potentially some upside in the market. It does seem, we are in a winter. We can't deny that. The technicals do look like we should be breaking down a bearish pennant there. It's a continuation pattern. You get squeezed and then there's more movement to the downside. There is a lot of FUD really in the whole industry. But I will share something positive with you, because obviously we want to see something that's quite good, where there might be an opportunity in the market. Mustafa, I know that you said that you're quite into NFTs, especially Solana NFTs. I bought my first few the other day. I've never really been huge into NFTs. I thought the hype was too big. And as a result, the bubble would pop. And, now we've seen Bored Ape Yacht Club, the floor price has dropped by half. So given the floor price has dropped by half, it kind of made me think, well, maybe it's a good time to get into NFTs. And I thought, well, the best way to actually, get into NFTs is to see what's going to be most popular. And there's two bits of news, that I want to put. Firstly is that Solana overtakes Ethereum in daily NFT trading volume, which is huge news. So as you see, Solana generated more money than Ethereum during 24-hour span, due in part to the launch of the Trippin' Ape Tribe collection. So this was obviously on the Solana network. This is one of them, or Magic Eden, that's what it is. There we go. So Magic Eden. This is a marketplace. You can go on here. You can have a look through popular collections. And this is just, it's the equivalent of OpenSea. So if you're unsure about Solana or the different marketplaces, I'd say have a look over here. You can go through some of the collections. This is personally where I've gone to buy mine. Just dipping my toes in the water. I've only got about 10 NFTs so far. But yes, we see that Trippin' Ape Tribe, it's Solana's leading NFT project, shall we say, in terms of trading volume over the past day. And you can kind of see why. Like Ethereum's 30 to 40% of Ethereum's gas is just in NFTs. It's crazy. Look how much gas fees people are paying just to get involved in NFTs. Now, when we look at the wider market and wider market adoption, we're going to have to look at people who have a lesser balance. It's not just going to be these influencers or arguably money launderers or whoever it is. It's going to be, just normal people who don't want to pay a whole load of money just to have an NFT. And so this is why sorry.
Just to add to that quick about the fees, I think, I looked at this the other day. It was, Ethereum fees are averaged around, $2 per transaction. And for 10, it was either 10 million, I think it was 1 million. So for 1 million Solana transactions, that averaged around $1. So you can see how how expensive Ethereum fees are. It's unbelievable.
It's just, I know it is like, it just shows how different the two chains are operating. And I will say this is not Solana. What I'm showing you right now, this is Ecomi. This is a project I haven't bought any, nothing really to do with me, but I really like it in the sense that if we have a look at some of the projects, and this is where I say democratization needs to be done within the NFT world. They have partnerships with Ghostbusters, Spider-Man, Batman, what's this? Adventure Time. So they have really, oh, see, even Star Wars, they've got amazing partnerships. And it's rumored that I think it's the guy who brought Pokemon to the international community is part of this team as well. So Back to the Future, Marvel, Star Trek, Jurassic Park, really good. The coin is not really doing too well, I will say. But it just shows that there needs to be this transition that we're seeing here into a more sustainable NFT project platform, not necessarily project, sorry, but platform and chain. That's, I think, what's going to be in the future. Because if you've got Sandbox, Decentraland, yeah, you can walk around with your Bored Ape Yacht Club, but new people who are coming into the space would probably rather be a dinosaur. I don't know about you, AJ. I'd love to just knock about as like, I don't know, some Marvel character like Iron Man.
Spider-Man.
Well, exactly. I'd much rather be that than like, a Bored Ape. And I think that's probably the mentality that we're going to see. So yeah, I didn't plan to get into this, but since we're talking about NFTs, I just wanted to drop that in. And the final bit of news here, guys, is A16Z. So I will show you a little bit more about this. And Andreessen Horowitz, very, very famous within the crypto space, he has raised $4.5 billion for its fourth fund. And now this is going to be going into Web3 and more traditional investment startups. So this is going to be massive for the crypto space. That's 4.5 billion. And then you've got loads of news coming out of these, even these former Binance executives comes out of stealth. And they are called Old Fashioned Research. That's named after the drink Old Fashioned. I guess they must love their whiskey. But their former Binance VP of Mergers and Acquisitions and the Binance Head of Corporate Development have come out and they've put together a $100 million fund. So there's lots of money flowing into the space. And there are reasons to be bullish, I should say. But it's just about finding those right opportunities, and that's why, like recently, I've been looking at data like this and also like this, and I'm kind of looking into Solana is down. It's like $44, which is absolutely crazy. Nobody likes that, but unless you're shorting Solana. But the thing for me is that's where I'm kind of seeing a bit of opportunity. But yes. And obviously wherever you feel comfortable buying Bitcoin, that's where you probably should. We won't tell you exactly where to buy it. We'll just tell you what we're doing. And I think with that, let's do some Q&As.
Yeah.
So drop a question into the comments. Drop also your BUSD wallet address, and we will send you $50 if we choose your comment and question to be the winner. AJ, what's to the overall, if you're looking for value right now in the markets, just waiting for, while you guys throw some questions in, if you're looking for value in the crypto space right now, where is it that you're going to be looking?
Well, it's pretty basic what I would say right now, just looking at the Bitcoin dominance as well, it would just, Bitcoin, I would be putting it because, I think, there's going to be more downside. But, putting your money in Bitcoin rather than, an altcoin, Ethereum, Solana, anything like that, you're gonna see a lot. So in the future, yes, you will see less returns, I think. But, as the price is going down, you won't see as much percentage towards the downside. You won't lose as much if you're investing into Bitcoin now because, I reckon, if we see more downsides to Bitcoin, the alts are going to be hit, almost twice as hard. So that's why, I've been saying previously, I'm at the moment I'm staying away from altcoins. Most of my altcoins, in my portfolio, I've taken profit off, when I realized that, we are going down quite a lot. So what I'm doing now, is just waiting for Bitcoin to find that confirmation that we are getting that bottom. Once I'm happy that, we're at that bottom, we've had the confirmation that the bounce is there, then yes, I'm going to be looking at getting into the altcoins. But as of right now, all my money is going into Bitcoin. And then, later on when we get the confirmation of the bounce, I'm going to, start shifting it into the altcoins, so I can make, those 1,000x returns.
Yeah, well, that is exactly what we all want, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
100% what we
yeah,
all want. But no, I absolutely
yeah,
agree with you. There's no point investing into, money flows from the top downwards, and at the top is Bitcoin.
yeah,
Then it goes Ethereum, and then it goes to all the other altcoins. So, in terms of price
yeah,
action, that's exactly the timeline that we should expect.
yeah. And if
I'll
I
go
can just
to. Oh, sorry.
show my
Yeah,
screen,
go.
if that's all right. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, a couple of videos ago, I told you that my price target was between 47% and 48% approximately for the Bitcoin dominance chart. We're getting closer to that target. But, when we hit that target, hopefully Bitcoin will have found a bottom around that time. And then, we see the rejection, and then that's when I'm going to be starting to get into altcoins when we get that rejection, because you can see, the last few times that we have tested this resistance level here, we have seen a rejection. But if we do break above this, then I will be, staying away from altcoins for a little bit longer. But if we do see this rejection here, that's when I'll be looking at getting into altcoins. So I'll keep you updated on that chart.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I mean that we, like you said, we had our like a rough price or a rough
Yeah,
percentage as dominance, and I only see that kind of growing. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. For now,
Okay,
anyway.
I'm going to go from the top here. So let's have a look down. So can we talk about Solana? Absolutely. So just done
Yeah,
a little bit of that. I did a couple of videos ago. Go back maybe about a week or so, Mustafa. If you want to see, there was a dedicated video on why we like Solana. Is Bitcoin undervalued at 29K? I mean, AJ, can you just quickly bring up the RSI? Because
yeah.
usually that
Oh,
gives us
yes,
an
yes. I
indication of
did forget to
overbought
mention that
or
actually.
undersold, overbought or oversold.
Yes.
So
Yeah, if you
Cameron,
put my screen up.
yep,
Yeah, so here we go. So right now, the RSI, we're just looking at this indicator right here, this one
relative
at the top
strength
right here.
index.
So yes, the RSI relative strength index is currently sat at approximately 33. Okay.
Yeah,
Now that's very oversold on the
yeah,
RSI, because if we look back in history, the last time that we were down at, let's see if I can get it both in at the same time. Yes, there we go. So here's where we are right now, around 33. Back here, when we found that bottom on that 200 MA, we were exactly at that 33 level again, and that signaled a bottom. And we can go back further. We came all the way down to 28. That signaled the bottom, and we can go even further back to 2015. We were down at these levels again. That signal, it doesn't always signal a bottom, but it signals a bottom is looming. So you can see we were pretty low here. A bottom was looming, and then we found the bottom, and then the price started to increase. Now, we're really sold as of right now on the RSI. So yes, Bitcoin is undervalued, I believe. But this doesn't signal a bottom. It signals that a bottom is looming. So yeah, were you going to say something, Ben? Sorry.
yeah. No, I was just going to add this up. I'll just throw this on the screen here. This is the stock to flow model. So some of you
Yeah,
guys might know. Plan B is quite famous for having linked together. So stock to flow model is a model that works for commodities. So it works for gold. It works for these different things. So generally, the idea is that the more rare something becomes, the higher in value it becomes as well. Now, obviously, with Bitcoin, with every halving that we have, Bitcoins are minted, and the supply left becomes less and less. So this is what the
yeah,
stock to flow model is. I'm sure you guys will have seen. This is the price. These little dots is the price, and the stock to flow gives an indication as to what the price should be. So at this stage,
yeah,
the stock to flow indicates the price should be around about $106, but it was around about 1,000, up here. But we always, before there was obviously we're branching quite heavily above this, but now we've kind of stuck to this. A bit of overextension and then a pullback, and then we've had a bit of overextension and now a pullback. But
yeah,
judging by the stock to flow, Bitcoin should be at 109,000. Now that's just one indicator. I'm not going to say that's the holy grail, but that is
yeah,
one thing that you can use in order to see if it is under or overvalued.
yeah.
Um,
And it may well have been at that price. If this whole COVID pandemic didn't hit.
well,
You know,
exactly.
so
Cameron,
unfortunately not.
Sorry, AJ. Cameron said, "Is Brave browser rewarding you still?"
That's a web browser, isn't it?
It is. Are you using it?
No, I don't. I think you're the one
I'm
using
using
it,
it.
aren't you?
Okay, yeah. So I know I'm using
No.
it. Cameron, yes.
Yeah.
Brave is rewarding me. That you get a little advert pop up down in the bottom left, bottom right, sorry, and then if you click on it, then it rewards you with basic attention token. So you have to, click on it,
Oh,
and then you can either scroll through or delete it. But yes, you can get paid, and I think I've got so my estimated earnings for this month will be 2.5 basic attention token, which is $1. So I'm a millionaire. um, okay. Cadena Future Solana. Andreas, I don't know enough about that specific project, so I can't comment to that. Do you know about Cadena? I think is that the one
no.
from was it Moon Carl? Someone he's I
The,
think he launched some kind of credit card.
sorry, Caster.
Okay, no, my
Is
mistake
that
then. I got it mixed up. My
no?
mistake.
No,
No.
yeah, that's Caster.
What's going on with VeChain? To be honest, Llewellyn, I think the issue with VeChain is that it's very Chinese. It's created by Chinese guys. I know they moved over to Hong Kong, I believe, but they are Chinese guys, and all of their connections are with Chinese. They're not Chinese companies, but they're Chinese branches of global companies. PwC, Maersk, all of these different companies. VeChain is working with them, and that is very bullish. But the issue that we have there is that China has a zero COVID policy. So they're pretty much still in a massive lockdown. There's loads of stuff going on in Shanghai that, may or may not be true, but people being, not treated in a good way is what is being reported. Won't go into any detail, but I think with that, it's very much linked to the success of supply chains because it tracks supply chains. So it depends on the success of supply chains in that specific country, which at the moment are pretty messed up. So I don't see anything in the immediate future, but I haven't done any recent research on VeChain and any new partnerships. So just as a heads up there.
Someone said
Sorry.
fake out, but someone said fake out, so I went over to look at the Bitcoin chart, but it looks like we're dumping even further down. So
We're dumping
don't think
further
there's
down.
a fake out just yet. Yeah. So 28,800.
That's not good. By the way, thank you guys,
No.
everyone. Also, make sure you drop your BUSD wallet in the comments because I see there's a lot of comments. So I'm going to keep getting through them. We'll try and go a little bit quicker. How do you think GDP will influence the Bitcoin dollar exchange course? Do you want to show them that chart, Llewellyn?
Yes.
We have a chart specifically for you, the DXY and Bitcoin on top of one another.
Yes.
So
That's
generally, obviously the GDP is not directly linked to the strength of the dollar, but there is a correlation there, quite a big one. But it's not like a perfect correlation. But just AJ, take 20 seconds and explain what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so quickly, I've showed this a lot. We're looking at the resistance on the DXY chart. We've come into this resistance level, twice before. As of right now, we are in that resistance level, seeing a slight rejection, not the confirmed rejection I would like to see just yet. But every time we've seen a rejection on this DXY chart, which is the strength of the dollar, we've seen a massive, massive move. So this move back in 2017 was from $700 approximately all the way up to around $20,000. And this one here, this mega move we had here when we saw that rejection was down at approximately, 4,000, 5,000, and we pumped all the way up to approximately $65,000. So if we get that rejection from here, I anticipate to see a massive, massive move in Bitcoin.
Yeah, perfect. And Willem, that is what we think of the correlation between Bitcoin and the dollar. If DAOs were the last bull market fashion trend that was pumping like crazy, happened with Metaverse this bull run, what type of projects do you think will be the next? That's a really hard question, Esteban. Really hard question. That's $1 million. It's not even multi-million-dollar question. That is. I don't know. I think it's really hard. I think having the metaverse, I don't think that bull run is finished, or that like trend. like I said, I do think NFTs have use, but I think that there has to be, I think it's going to be a gaming link. So I think play to earn games will either be, you know, the one that kind of pushes us ahead, or it's going to be some type of linking of real world games with NFTs. So for example, I could imagine maybe, you know, you buy something on Solana or Ethereum, or you put your Bored Ape, you know, you can put that inside Call of Duty and have that on your guy. So you could be walking around as a Bored Ape. You know, I think there's going to have to be some kind of real world connection there. But it's extremely hard to say. I'll go away and I'll kind of do some research as to what I think. But for now, I'm into smart contract coins because they have potential for NFTs, they have potential for logistics, and all these different, you know, different types of projects. So unfortunately, I don't mind. And yeah, Esteban, you did. Esteban was our winner yesterday, AJ.
Yes, yeah, he was.
Yes.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm glad. I hope you enjoy the $50. More questions. Come in late. You'll talk about Luna yet? No, Tom, we haven't spoken about Luna yet. We spoke a little bit about it yesterday. Like, you know, we just went through some of the summaries of what the fork might be, whether it's going to, you know, what's going to be the outcome. Basically, Luna is going to turn into Luna Classic, and then there's going to be a new hard fork, which is going to turn into Luna. But, you know, the question is whether we trust it, whether we trust Do Kwon, whether we trust the foundation. I personally don't. And that's you know, I don't like it, but that's my personal opinion. Journey to the Truth and Total Randomness, that's a cool name. I like your name. Do you guys know any awesome upcoming NFT projects? I was quite excited about one that launched a couple of days ago, but that's already launched. There are a few. I mean, you can go to, like I said earlier, I think it was Eden Magic, or basically any type of NFT marketplace, and have a look at the upcoming ones. And then what you should do is go to their Discord, and then you can see yourself if there's a big Discord community, if they have a big following on Twitter. That will be a good judgment of NFT projects. But any specific ones, we don't really know, to be honest, unless we begin to launch our own NFTs, AJ.
Yeah.
But until then,
we might have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems everywhere. Yeah. Everyone's doing it nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, okay, MRE VeChain always shows up in the bull market fundamentals or not? Always. I'm not sure if that's a question, but I do think VeChain has got legs. I think it's just a great idea. I think it's a really good idea. One thing that I think is a hindrance to that, though, I know I'm going into a lot of detail here, but EY, they did a blockchain tracking, and they called it their something solution. I can't remember. Polygon. Yeah. So they were Nightfall. So Polygon, they put EY, which is one of the top 4 consultancy firms in the world. They have launched. I'll share this on my screen with you. So here, have a look at this. So EY has launched a new supply chain offering called Ops Chain. Now, Ops Chain is hosted on Nightfall, which is a layer 2 roll-up blockchain that EY co-developed with Polygon. So this is really quite good. And now I know with Nightfall, it's a layer 2 rollup. I think it's a zero knowledge rollup, so that you can have total encryption, because obviously if I'm sending a batch of Lamborghinis over to America from Europe where they're built, I don't want everyone to know, and I don't want it to be public knowledge. So I think there is a zero knowledge rollup in that. There you go. Here, zero knowledge proofs. So that will allow it to be, private. But ultimately, I think having the supply chain issues that we've seen recently, having them kind of solved by the blockchain, is only going to be a really good thing. And I think this is a fantastic move by EY themselves. There you go.
Yeah.
AJ, do you want to do the favor, do the honors, and choose one of our friends? Choose one of our friends here
well,
live.
we need someone to put their wallets down below in the comments.
Do we have someone? We have Llewellyn.
We got one.
We have Llewellyn. Guys, you've asked lots of questions. You know, we're giving away $50 here. I think what we'll do is we have to give that to Llewellyn. Yes.
Yeah.
So Llewellyn,
First person to put it.
Yes, you have won $50. Congratulations. So that will be coming to you in BUSD, and obviously now is a good time to be, you know, stacking your cash. Yeah, good luck. Well, not good luck. Sorry. Well done.
Well done. Yeah, and if everyone who's won as well, put your Twitter handle in the comments as well, and we can give you a shout out over on Twitter. Make sure you follow our Twitter as well. Link is in the description.
Exactly. Yes. So that's you. You also, Esteban. Follow us on Twitter, and then drop us a message, and we'll give you all a shout out at the end of the week. So guys, we have one more tomorrow. So anyone who's anybody who's interested in winning $50, throw your questions in, and also then include your wallet address, and you will be the recipient, or you could be the recipient of $50.
Yeah.
Good. Any final words here, AJ, for our friends?
Trade safe.
Trade safe. Yes, exactly. Trade safe, guys. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care, guys.
See you later. Slap like the